Hey everyone, and welcome to Maple Syrup Breaks. Now, this is my side channel where we're going to be doing all kinds of different card openings, TCG openings, sports cards openings. I'll be honest, we'll be focusing probably a lot around hockey and maybe some TCGs from time to time, and also some other sports breaks. But since I'm Canadian, hockey is the sport I know the most. That's why we're going to be focusing around hockey. Before we get started, maybe a tiny bit of background. If you don't know, I do have a main channel here on YouTube, Maple Syrup Gaming and Tech, where we cover Switch-related content. So this side channel is really just because since I'm in the hobby anyway, I thought, why not share the breaks that I'm already doing with all of you? And maybe some people, it'll help you guys see what's good in the different hobby boxes and different openings, and, just have some fun together. Secondly, I do want to mention I've been out of the hobby for sports cards for about 15 years. Just got back into it. Obviously, I thought the best place to start would be Series 1 25-26 hockey, since that is the flagship series for Upper Deck and I would say hockey card collecting. Obviously, we are on the chase for another Demidov. And long story short, the reason I got back into the hobby after about 15 years, is that randomly during the holidays, I was at Walmart. I saw a blaster of NHL. I was like, hey, I'd love to get a little bit of memorabilia of my Canadians. I bought that simple blaster box, and guess who was in it? My little Demidov. So I took it as a sign of the gods to get back into the hobby, since that is pretty much the chase card, and it's pretty crazy to get it from one blaster pack with only 4 packs in it. And since then, I've been opening up different cards, different packs. And here we are. I decided to basically make a little bit of side content with it. Hopefully, like I said, it'll help some of you out there, or just have the fun of seeing me rip open packs. Obviously, likes, subscribes will be appreciated here at the channel. If we can get this one monetized one day, it would be a super big plus. So enough of the chit chat. Let's get to the opening of the packs. We can chat a little bit more as we go through it. So let's get this box of Series 1 open and see what we've got in here. Obviously, anything Demidov would be awesome, but there are a few other cards I'm looking for in here, and if they pop up, we will see them as we go by. Now, I do think that the other reason I wanted to do this channel is I think it is a fresh and interesting perspective from someone trying to get back into the hobby after 15 years. I think that might relate to a lot of you out there, either just maybe getting into the hobby or getting back into it after a long way out. I'll be honest, it felt extremely overwhelming at first, and I've taken like the last month before starting to do these videos just to get a little bit of a base around, what series do what you can get in each series and whatnot. And I have a lot to learn. We're going to learn it all together and hopefully have a lot of fun ripping open some packs. So we've got our 12 packs here. Let's get the box out of the way. Sleeves, everything is ready. Let's get started ripping our first pack here. And we're going to go through the base pretty quick. And we've got a UD canvas of Kirill Kaprizov. Oh, and our first young gun to start out, Mart Catcom. I actually like this guy. I like the Islanders. Obviously, the Canadians are my first team, but the Islanders is another team that I follow regularly. And we've got a Sidney Crosby goal-oriented. Now, for values or whatnot of the cards, what I'm going to be doing is I'll be checking them after the video and probably popping them up on screen when I would say that it's something that is a standout. Standout to me would probably be $5 and above a value. You'll most likely will see a little pop-up on the screen tell you what the value is. And for the values, I'll be using whatever it's sold for latest on eBay. So the latest sale of the same card on eBay. So getting to our pack number 2 here. Oh, my first black and white UD canvas of Matthias Ekholm. And honestly, I was really looking forward to seeing one of these in person. They are really, really awesome. The only thing I found about the canvases is they are extremely fragile. It's extremely easy to damage the corners or the tops of the cards. You have to be very careful with them. And next, we have an encore of Matthew Knies and a bustle of Tyler Bertuzzi. Now, if ever the autofocus on the camera is so-so, I will try to get that fixed in the future. I'm trying to work with what I can for this first video. Any comments, any combat, like anything you would like me to improve for the next time, let me know. I know already my background needs to be like somewhat improved, better than just my green screen, but I'll be working that in the future, trying to get something theme appropriate. Now, big hits we are going to put there. None of this so far I would consider a big hit though, but big hits I will sleeve and put up right away so we can see what we've got. Now, let's get to pack number 3. And we've got a tracking systems for Jordan Binnington. Really good goalie, in my opinion. And we've got our second Young Guns. You know what? The Young Guns I might put up there. Jani Nyman from the Kraken. I actually don't know too much about this guy. Don't follow the Kraken too much. And Artyom Levshunov, sorry about that. This guy, I do think he has a big future. It's been sort of a cold start for him, but I do think that once he gets his wings, we might be looking at some really good stuff. So let's get our young guns out there. Obviously, this is hockey. I most likely will mispronounce over half the family names, especially for the players that I don't hear their names regularly because they don't play against the Canadians that often. So often I know the players, but I haven't heard their names said out loud. Sorry, I had to do a little bit of editing there. My bad. My cat came in and knocked everything over. There will be a little bit of a learning curve with this new series, but we're going to get things rounded off. Let's go through this. Ooh, and we've got our Dazzlers. Bowin Byram. Not really a Dazzler I'm looking for. Probably is not going to have that much of a value, but it is what it is. And we have a Matthias Ekholm. Didn't we already? Yeah, I think we got the canvas, the black and white canvas. And now we got the regular canvas. That's actually pretty funny to get the exact same canvases in 2 different packs. One black and white, one colored. And a UD portrait of Gabe Perreault. So that is actually a pretty funny hit here. Now, we are at pack number 5, so almost halfway through the box. Austin Matthews, an encore of Hussein Sards. We've got Nazem Kadri here on the sizzle reel. And our third Young Gun, we have Ozzy Westblatt. Once again, not necessarily a Young Guns that is top of my list, but it's a rookie card nonetheless. So let's get this guy sleeved up. So far, an okay box. I got my first black and white canvas, but I wouldn't say that it's a fantastic box yet. We need some kind of bigger value card to say that we are really getting rolling. So pack number 6. And we've got population count. I've actually never gotten one of these. Sniggerud population count 1,000, and it's a Snuggerud, which is honestly, I think this is one of the top rookies to look out for. I've seen him in a couple of games, and dude, this guy is really, really impressive. Now, I'm going to have to check the value on this one. This one is most likely going to get some kind of mention because I haven't seen this card yet at all. And it looks probably like it's going to have a good resale value simply due to the fact that it has a population count of 1,000. So it isn't like a 1 out of 50, but it is looking like something that is extremely interesting. So brand new type of card there that I've never seen before so far. And I'm still learning, like I said, so we are all going to learn together. But this is definitely going to take a throne up here. And like I said, I'm going to be checking out the values. That's actually, I'm super excited about that card. Very, very happy about that card. Because Snuggerud is a player that I've been following in games, and he is looking pretty fantastic so far. I do think that he has a very good future in the NHL. And we've got a bustle, but it is the speckle version. I always forget how they call it because I want to call it a dazzler, but it's not a dazzler. This is the speckle version of Nazem Kadri. So pretty good hit for a Flames fan, but unfortunately that I don't fall in that boat. Joel Eriksson, UD Canvas, and we've got a composition of Rasmus Dahlin. Pretty interesting. I might have actually forgotten to mention the other cards from that pack because I got so like flustered by that card that we got. And like I said, I'm extremely looking forward to checking out what exactly that is. Next pack, and we're on the last stretch here. Cap Fowler, Rasmus Dahlin. I'm going to dig through the bases, though, because there are a couple of rookies that I am keeping. Mika Zibanejad, a compadres of Jack Hughes and Luke Hughes. And, we've got Young Guns. We've got Carson Dorwat. I like this guy, but honestly, I think he's going to be like a third line guy, like in my opinion. So it's hard to get excited for those players, like, card wise, simply because we're looking at a player that, yes, he's going to be solid in my opinion, but he's just not going to be like a future Hall of Famer or whatnot. I can always be wrong. Things can change, but definitely pretty nice. Like we're missing the mega hits, although that could be one. I'm going to be checking that out. We've got a Canadians here at the back. Could this be a sign? We have Alexandre Carrier. And we've got a checklist at the front. And we've got a Nick Suzuki. Is this a Canadians pack? Is this going to be a Canadians pack? What do we got? We've got our outburst, which is Gabe Perreault, Young Guns from the Rangers. I mean, it's an outburst rookie. It's a cool thing to have. Obviously, I would have not necessarily my top choice for rookie outbursts, but I think you guys all know who that would be. So let's get this guy off here. We're going to put our outburst here in the middle. We've got a sizzle reel of Quinn Hughes and Roman Josie from a Cup Quest. Now, like I said, I'm trying to see if the focus looks okay on the camera. If stuff is out of focus, I'll have this fixed up for a future video. Getting things set up in a different way in the studio can always be a little bit of a challenge for a first time. And unfortunately, card openings is not something you can do a second take of. Okay, let's take a look here at our pack. This will be pack number 10. So let's get this out of here. Now I sort of ruined it. I can see that there's a UD canvas there. Because the UD canvases are so, like I said, the texture is so different that the cards slip right off them. And a Leon Draisaitl. Now this is a nice card. Like, I don't think it's going to have a mega value, but I love this card. Without the helmet, Leon Draisaitl is a great player. And on top of it, we've got a young gun after that with Dalibor Dvorsky. My God, my pronunciation is going to be awful in these videos. And finally, Dylan Holloway UD Portraits. So that is a really nice card. Honestly, I'm going to sleeve that one up right away just because I love Draisaitl. I think he is a top player. I don't think at this point there are any questions anymore. He is a top player. And on top of it, I really like the visuals on that card. But got that one sleeved up there. Moving on to pack 11 here. Once again, ruined it a bit, but we've got an encore of Morgan Riley. Okay, that's an okay. Oh, a UD Portraits of Connor Bedard. Now, this guy could have a very, very big future in the league. So anything Bedard, oh, and it's a speckle on top of it. Yeah, this is going to be sleeved up right away. And we've got a sizzle reel of Nathan McKinnon. Good player. Just these sizzle reels, I'll give a few thoughts at the end while we're doing like a little recap. I do have a few thoughts about the whole set as in general, getting back into the hobby. Like there's a lot of inserts that are fun, but they've just made them way too easy to get, meaning that the value is like not there. The value proposition is sort of lacking a bit, but all in all, I still really like the look of these newer cards. Like I said, I've been out for about 15 years. The cards look awesome. Our final pack here. Are we going to get some final pack magic? So let's get through the base really quickly here. Adam Larson, Dawson Mercer. And we have a tracking system of Samuel Ersson. A Luca Cagnoni, Young Guns. Now, this isn't the Sharks player you want, but the Sharks player you want is not in this year's crop. It is in last year's, but still a really good card. And Artemi Panarin, goal-oriented to finish us up. So not so much last pass magic, other than we did get a Young Gun. Probably going to get a couple of bucks there. But, I mean, all in all, this was, I think, a pretty decent box. Now, I'm going to check in some values, especially the Gabe Perreault outburst. I actually think I saw goes for quite a bit, and I'll get right back to you. Yeah, so all in all, after checking a few values, these really are the top picks of today's box. So basically, the Gabe Perreault does go for about $50. So actually, that's a pretty good hit. The Gabe Perreault outburst, it's one of the pretty decent Young Guns outbursts sales wise. After that, we've got $5 about on all the rest. The Snuggerud, I am super surprised that thing's only going for about $5. Now there are lower population counts. I did check what the population count cards are. This is the highest population count, but at the same time, it is way rarer than the general Young Guns. But the Young Guns currently is going for more. So I do think this is a card to maybe watch out for. If you can pick up a few, I would, because I think that they're currently being undervalued. And I do think this is a player that has a big future ahead of them. And without offense to any Blues fans out there, if he was on a team with, a higher tier team in the league currently, now the Blues, I know they're rebuilding and whatnot, but if he was currently on a higher tier team, I think he would be even showing off even more, because he is an excellent player from what I've seen. And actually, the surprise was the Kirill Kaprizov UD Canvas goes for about $5. Other than that, this is our top hits from today's box. Like I said, let me know what you thought about today's video. I had a ton of fun opening up the box with you. I got some really nice cards that I like for myself that weren't necessarily highly valued, but I'm going to be keeping in the collection. I'm most likely going to be selling the Gabe Perreault. I might hold on for a while just to see how the player is doing. But other than that, thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you thought, and I hope I'll see you in my next one.